Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Oh, I have to start by apologizing for Treble, because Treble apparently named the last series on YouTube Danny's Big Day, and that is just not appropriate.
Every day is going to be Danny's big day from now on.
Denny's Big Adventure.
Oh, Danny's Big Adventure, sorry.
I think Denny might be the worst NPC I've ever run at this table.
Not even
Listen,
close.
I feel like it's going to be our personal mission to keep Denny alive through this entire...
No!
I'd really rather not, because like he deserves an end, a very probably violent end, but I don't know that any of our characters could bring it to themselves to be the ones to actually do the deed.
there are
Exactly.
people we've met in this universe that I would like to kill. Denny is not one of them.
I am trying real hard
Like
not
it
to
feels
be
like
the-
it feels like a waste of time to kill Denny. Like, what's the point?
Which one of us is going to take the hit to become a Dark Lord just to kill Denny?
Let me ask this, because Destil and McDohl and Treble have been with the table for multiple campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been a worse NPC, or is Denny the absolute nadir of...
I don't know. You open your mouth and it's just like everything is just instantly the worst.
Well, I think
I
the
mean-
win button for Treble's book is honestly the petulant child against Treble. Like, that's like the ultimate weapon against Treble. He cannot
No.
fight it at all.
I can handle children. It's petulant man playing petulant child against Treble.
I think I disliked Malman more.
I don't even remember who that is.
The Demon Lord from the End of Wild.
Oh, Mammon, yeah.
Oh, Mammon.
Mammon,
yeah.
yeah.
he was kind of a dick, but
That wasn't really my character, though. Like, I adapted him from another book.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, he was intended to be, like, the boss of the final act. Denny's
So-
just supposed to be some jerk who was supposed to die.
and he won't.
He's never got the memo.
Denny won't die.
I mean, the dice conspired to not kill him last session when I remembered I had to roll at disadvantage. It's not my fault.
There's going to
I-
be
It was but for one dice roll in this world.
an expansion for this campaign called Die, Denny, Die.
I'm trying my best not to kill Denny.
Yeah, I
Part-
think
part-
Denny might be the worst.
I am trying my best not to kill Denny, Brick Road,
Now,
because
every
I did.
time- Go ahead.
I did ask you if I killed Denny in his sleep, would it be a powers check? And then you told me yes.
Well, yeah, murder is evil.
And
Yeah.
murder
that was
is
my
very
question.
evil, yes.
it would be a powers check. So I'm trying to find a way to kill Denny without it being a powers check.
Now, every time Denny says something, I just think he sounds exactly like Ruby, except there's no weight behind it. It's like, why would you care what he says?
So now I'm picturing this, like, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner dynamic. Where Genie is, like, buying increasingly convoluted traps to set up.
Well, see, that's Victor's idea in telling Denny to go ahead and go first.
Yeah, I think that's probably just going to be the move. We're going to keep putting Denny in situations where he almost dies, but then it doesn't happen, and he survives the end of campaign, and we all get out of here, and he becomes the head of House Veritas. We're like, well, I think we screwed up.
Like at what point does Denny like gain enough levels to like to be a legitimate threat?
Well, he's an NPC. He can't get experience points. Denny has peaked. He is at peak Denny.
He already is pretty strong, in my opinion. He does 2d10 on a attack roll. He makes 2 per turn. That's pretty good.
It's because he's
When he remembers to carry his sword.
Yeah, but he does forget to do that a lot. But only when he's fighting on our side. When he's fighting against us, he always remembers the sword.
That's all fine and good as long as you're not fighting him on a bridge.
I don't think falling off that bridge would have killed me.
Certainly wouldn't have helped.
I'm pretty sure that mist would have been bad
Probably.
because apparently it cursed my infused item? Question mark.
Oh yeah, do I have to change any numbers on for my dagger?
No.
It's still a +1 dagger?
I'll
Well, it's not infused at the moment.
Okay, so it's just a regular dagger at the moment.
He did notice the silence. The
Yeah,
terrible-
well,
I am noting the silence. Noting
Okay,
the silence.
So I'm just going to keep rolling it like it's +1 unless you tell me not to.
I will identify the dagger because that is a because
Identify
yeah.
explicitly does not find cursed items.
Is that what it says?
Yep.
It does, yes.
At least that's how we've been playing it. I don't know if it's actually rules as written.
That's rules as written.
Okay then.
I'll double check right now, and if it's not, I'll eat my hat.
How do you identify cursed items then?
By using them and find out they're
You
cursed.
get boned over by them.
Well, that already happened.
You equip it, and like the bad jingle plays.
You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of this spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued item, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
You just need to randomly cast remove curse on it.
I don't even think that actually helps. There's a lot of things in this game where, it says, this is what the spell does, but that's not actually what it does.
There's not.
Okay, there's a feature for Mastermind where it says, your lies escape magical detection, and I don't think there's actually a spell or effect in the game that actually does that.
Zone of
Yeah,
Truth.
Zone of Truth.
Zone of Truth prevents you from speaking lies. It does not detect truth.
All right.
And remove curse does not actually remove curses.
It just lets you drop the item.
Well, there's a spell called Bestow Curse, and Remove Curse removes the curse from Bestow Curse.
Okay, well, it doesn't remove all curses. It should be called remove some curses.
Lesser remove curse.
Oh, your complaint is that some of the spell names are dumb. I mean, on that point, yeah, like protection from stuff.
We've been around and round with dumb spell names for a while. Have you ever heard of protection from stuff?
Protection from good and evil doesn't actually protect you from good or evil. But it does what the spell description says.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not exactly what it says on the tin. Like, you have to. Like,
Magic doesn't come in a tin. I don't know who told you that.
It does
I
if you're an
bet.
artificer.
Yeah, I bet Genie could put magic in a 10.
That's legitimately how I decided to skin my
Genie
thing.
and
You
Alexander.
explicitly don't put magic in a tin. You put it in a chess piece.
No.
That's not
I
even
have-
made of tin.
Genie.
So the way I have it internalized is what Jeannie does is she prepares these little, like, I guess I wasn't gonna say tens, but yeah, kind of tens, and that she has X number of tens equal to however.
Frick, as a
spell
NetHack
slot.
player, are you going to tell us that a tinning kit isn't one of the most powerful things we could find?
I'm not convinced the NetHack tinning kit is not a magical item. Because you could fit an entire rock troll into a tin.
Well, you're not like putting the whole rock troll.
Yes,
in a tin.
you
Taking
are.
the edible portions.
It's the only way to kill a troll in NetHack.
Yeah.
In fact,
You guys say tinning. I think soldering.
if you try to kill a troll in NetHack by eating it, and it comes back to life when you're halfway through, it's now a bite-covered troll. You're correct to not laugh, because that wasn't a joke. That's literally how the game works.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I know. I've won NetHack exactly one time. I don't think I'll ever do it again.
I don't have the patience to learn.
I mean, I used to play DCSS, but boy, they just keep patching all the fun out of that game.
That's a problem with a lot of games like that have like random elements. Like
I'd say it's a problem with a lot of games that have community, source, large community projects that don't really have firm direction.
like the big thing that I notice you play these games and like they have like play styles that might be slightly more powerful, and instead of like making the other play styles more powerful, they just nerf the other ones, and they always seem to compensate.
Yeah, that's why I quit playing Dead
Yeah.
Cells.
Yeah. Anyway,
Like this is where I drew the line with DCSS. Was they decided that they wanted to make all the magic types unique. They wanted to make it so that fire magic was not just damage but red, which means that fire mages do not have a reliable spell for narrow corridors at level 1, because the level 1 spell is Firefox that jumps out and runs towards an enemy. Does more damage than the old like little fire beam, but it's completely unusable in corridors because it just runs into a wall and dies. I almost exclusively played Dark Elf Fire Mages, and Dark Elf Fire Mages start with like 3 hit points and no melee skills. So that basically meant that if I ran into like a stupid kobold in the first level, I was dead. I'm like, I think I'm done.
I think I've been.
It was a shame because I really loved the magic system in that game until then, and I think that's a great idea for the level 2 spell. I think the level 1 spell could be damaged but red. It was actually like Produce Flame was actually kind of a really interesting spell anyway because it scaled differently than everything else, but numbers aren't interesting. This is something I believed too when I was like 16. I remember writing video game design docs as a child and saying there will be no buffs that only change numbers. Now I'm like, boy, I don't know. I think just a simple +2 strength is super good and interesting as long as it's competing for other things and uses resources or whatever.
That's how Binding of Isaac worked. It had all these interesting items, and the best items were just the ones that made your power.
So it improved your numbers. Yep. Nope. I total 180 on that one. I think playing a lot of Magic gave me a total 180 on that one more than anything else.
I remember one time you were playing Binding of Isaac Burger and you're doing like one of the challenge builds or whatever, and then like you had like predicted like a specific combination of items, and then that ended up being one that you like you ended up having as part of this challenge run, and you were just like, I just remember you just being like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it was the Sad Onion and the Little Planet. So you shot 5 million tears per second, but they were really low damage and they orbited your body. The game sucks.
There was also the one that like had like that would like hook back around, hit you if you weren't careful, and like it would explode, so you had to like dodge each of your own shots.
Yeah, there was like a boomerang shot,
enemies.
and then Ipecac, which is an explosive shot.
Yeah, that's specifically the one that I remember.
Speaking of miserable games with terrible mechanics, we need to roll some survival checks.
Oh god, no.
Orson does not roll
what?
because he spent the whole day in the dungeon with you guys.
So one of them, I guess, can I still cast guidance on one of them before they head out?
No, because you were in the dungeon with Orson all day.
Okay.
So I'll make that roll. They both fail. There is no food today.
That's not good.
So nobody gets to take a long rest.
Well, you know what? Brick Road, Destil would have level 3 spells, and this wouldn't be a problem if you didn't make us start shitty.
Listen, tell us RPG horror stories.
You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to do that because
refuse.
that's what you want. It's what you want, and it would make you happy. And you know what? I'm not about that. Not today.
Treble will never do anything that makes me happy.
Always out of spite, never anything else.
All right, so we need everybody to make. I'm gonna have these checks made in batches because some of you have gone longer without rest. Edmont, Victor, Lugrin, Trieste, Donique, Chrisen, Platin, and all 3 retainers have gone 3 days without rest. So that's going to be a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 16. Oh, I got some passes here.
Edmont failed.
Victor failed.
All right, so both of you accrue a level of exhaustion. Victor, this is your second level of exhaustion.
It does appear to be.
Lugrin gains a second level of exhaustion. Trieste gains a level of exhaustion. And one of the retainers, I'm not sure which one. Evie and Giela have gone 2 days without a rest. So your DC is 14, Constitution saving throw, which she passes. Did Evie pass?
She got a 15.
Okay, so that's a pass. Everybody else has only gone 1 day. So that would be Ekon, Orson, good old Denny.
Who is at 1 hit point, I presume.
Denny fails.
Good, that'll make him easier to kill.
Tenny fails. And Lahir.
Ekon passed.
Lahir fails. Ekon's okay?
Genie
Yep, I
passed.
got 19.
Same.
Nobody takes the benefits of the long rests. Nonetheless, Genie.
Yeah.
As I said last session, you become aware that the magic of Evie's dagger is not sourced from your infusion.
Give me the dagger, Genie. Evie, give me the dagger. Give me the dagger.
I'm not giving you my dagger. Why do you want my dagger?
Yes. It's not. I explained to her that it's not. I'm not like the infusion is gone.
This is the dagger Nathaniel gave me. I've had it for years. There's nothing wrong with it. This is my favorite dagger.
Why is it magical?
Because of you.
No, it's not. I'm telling you that it's not.
If
Me,
I
it's been a couple
concentrate on Arcana, is the dagger still magical?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's still radiating magic.
Genie, it's been a couple days since you've eaten. You're not thinking clearly.
If she promises not to kill Denny with it, can she just see it so we can get on the road? I'm hungry.
I mean, do I feel like any kind of magical compulsion, like not to give it to someone?
No, you don't.
No,
As far as you know, the dagger is only the only change in the operation of this dagger is it always comes back to you blade first.
Okay, I'll let Genie look at it, I guess.
Genie, make an Arcana check.
That is a 27.
Ooh.
27?
Give me all the secrets of this dagger.
If you had an infusion to spend, which you don't because you haven't completed the long rest, you're confident that you could repair whatever ill magics has befallen this dagger. And you're also very confident it's a bad idea to throw it into the mists.
Okay, well, lesson learned.
The dagger itself, this particular dagger, or just any dagger in the future?
This particular dagger, if you were to infuse it, the magic of your infusion would overwrite whatever has happened to it in the mist.
No, I mean the throwing into the mist. Like, are you saying that it's a bad idea? This dagger, specifically as it is?
Anything. The mist is just bad.
Right. Yeah, no. I kind of came to that conclusion already.
Yeah, okay.
Is Denny still shouting at us that we're traitors and he's going to kill us?
Denny...
Because he's tied up.
Because you've tied him up. And he seems to be falling ill. By the time you guys are starting to collect your things wearily the next morning, this is third day in a row for some of you where you're not waking up to a breakfast as this 110% humidity and this light drizzle starts to clap all around you as you break camp.
Ekon, is there anything you could do for him?
I mean, I can do a medicine check to see if he's like actually sick.
Can you check to see if he's crazy?
He may have picked something up from those bugs that were crawling all over him.
Can I mean, so first of all, can I do a medicine to see if there's actually like a physical affliction on him?
If he will cooperate with you.
Will he cooperate with me if I walk over to him and just try and look him over?
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. That would be a... What, really? Oh, there we go. 12.
A 12. He'll let you look him over, but any examination you make is going to be difficult because he's going to spend the entire time berating you and second-guessing everything you do.
Mm-hmm. Is that
I
disadvantage?
feel like you do that anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be imposed disadvantage on the medicine check.
While he's doing that, can Victor send out his owl to do some scouting?
We'll do that next.
Okay.
That's an 8 on medicine.
Okay. I mean, his legs and all the way up his thighs and to his groin, have
Yeah.
weird red bumps. And you could think it can only have come from that swarm of maggots that he was playing around in. But more information than that, you can't get.
Okay.
If we want him to survive, we need to prioritize him for food.
No, we don't.
We just need to find out if there's anything down this road.
Now, Evie, by that, do you mean you have to prioritize giving Denny food that you find? Or did you mean we have to butcher Denny and eat him?
No, he has a disease. We don't want to eat that.
Give Victor 2 more days and we'll be talking about the second option.
Okay, so let me pull up my handy-dandy conditions list here. Victor and Lugrin, their speed is halved because of their second level of exhaustion, which means they are causing the party to move at a much slower pace today than you have up until this point. And Denny, though he seems to be, he still feels very warm to the touch, and his hair is still matted to his face. He's covered in sweat. And even though he's bound up, who's leading him, by the way? Is anybody keeping...
Edmont is.
Edmont is? Okay. And he's not struggling a lot, but he's keeping his feet, and he spends the whole morning berating Victor and Lugrin for constantly falling behind.
Victor is going to ask Orson to carry him.
Orson's not strong enough to carry you all day long.
Is anyone actually hurt? Does anyone actually have any non-Dannies damaged?
I'm at 10 hit points, so I'm not great.
Can I get a short rest right now, Vic? Or Brick?
Yeah, everybody take the benefits of a short rest if you like.
Okay, so that's 2 healing
You can see
words.
spend hit dice.
4, and I'll also go ahead and get another 8 from a healing word before I take my short rest.
Okay.
I've got after the short rest, I can throw a cure wounds out if somebody wants it.
Now, Treble, you had set your familiar further afield than the one
Right.
day, so you were expecting it to return to you today.
Sure. I said follow the road until it found something and then came back.
And you become aware as you guys get up in the morning and you follow the road yourselves, and you're kind of trying to filter Denny's aggression out. You become cognizant of the fact that your familiar is no longer out there.
Okay.
Who else has familiars that are scouting nearby hexes today?
I would like to, if you don't mind me saying that I went ahead and resummoned mine as a ritual.
Sure.
I would also like to resummon mine as a ritual, if that's okay.
Oh wait, was yours popped or was mine popped last
Mine
session?
I think yours might be okay. Mine was.
Yeah, I think mine's okay. Okay, my notation for that isn't super clear in my notes. I'll make it better.
I'll
Okay,
just-
I'll
get
knock
mine
off
back.
the one ritual component then.
Victor's
Thank
just
you.
not popped and he will be scouting.
Okay.
If we summon mine back, would it be able to tell? I'm not super clear on like what the familiar can convey to the familiar owner.
It's telepathy, so it can tell you anything that the familiar would be able to understand. So it might not be able to say someone used the magical rituals. Like you might say, I was flying along and then I disappeared.
Because I think we should summon mine and ask it why it died.
Is it the same familiar when you resummon it?
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think
so.
it's the same spirit, right?
Yep. It's the same spirit that you put into a new body.
Unless you specifically summon a new one.
A different one, I think, would be different spirit.
And you can have the same familiar, but it can change forms even.
No, you have to resummon it to do that. Oh yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same spirit every time.
Hey, bear with me 1 second.
Do you need my?
So you can't communicate telepathically unless you're within 100 feet of it, which it definitely wasn't. It was miles away.
Right. But if I summon it, it will be next to me.
Is that dog your familiar?
Sorry.
Dogs are not on the familiar list, and I will die upset about it. guess I should. What is?
So then all your familiar really knows. So are you stopping on the road to resummon it?
I mean,
I guess
we took an hour rest, or did I not know until after the
your
rest?
hour rest would have been last night. Your
Okay.
hour rest was during the point where you should have gotten a long rest, but you couldn't because nobody bothered to get any food. At that
I'll
point,
wait.
your familiar was in the process of scouting.
I can wait. I'll bring it up and then see if everybody wants to wait until we stop again, or if we're going to do it now.
Where did you send your familiar?
Down the road, following the road we're on right now.
Yeah,
I mean, we're going to find out what's there soon enough anyway. We don't have any better leads.
Well, that brings me to my next important question. Are you guys pushing Victor and Lugrin to keep pace, or are you slowing down so as not to push them? The difference is whether you travel 1 hex or 1/2 of the hex.
I mean, I think our problem right now is food, not time we're making.
Yeah.
So half a hex? I'm for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Lens of Truth never works when I load the table back in.
Lens of Lies.
Oh, this one doesn't work anyway. There we go. All right, so that gives you guys 3 familiars to check 3 hexes around from this point.
Is that including my familiar?
There's yours, Victor's, and Ekon's, I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to scout this hex with Lux.
Okay. And there's mostly open plains to the south. It gets a lot drier, and the trees become a lot more sparse. It also becomes a lot hillier.
Okay.
What we need to find is a place with more food. Like a forest with, like, more game. Actually, let me ask this question. Can my familiar just fly up really high and get a bird's eye view and give us some indication of what the lay of the land is?
Yeah, that's what you got. That's what this scouting is representing.
Okay.
That's actually what they're doing.
Okay.
I guess I'll point in that direction for now.
Gets even more dry and even more sparse in that direction.
I think
Getting away from the frog people is a good thing. We've put some distance between us and what seemed to be their territory, this swamp, but if we're moving slowly, they're going to catch up with us.
Agreed.
Well, they did seem afraid of the city, so
I mean, also, I haven't seen any indication they're actually following us. The hags came and wanted to talk to us, but otherwise I haven't seen a frog person since we fought them.
Magila is always watching.
Yeah, we should resume until we settle things with them that we have not seen the last of them.
So we still have Victor's...
Yeah, Victor's owl will fly as far down the road as it can and back in a day.
So when the owl gets back, by the time you're ready to camp for tonight, the road actually comes to a fork. And there's no like actual organization to it. It's not like a big crossroads. There's not like a sign pointing this direction, that direction. Both of the roads look like they branch off into woodland territory. But within the fork, at the hill sitting above the fork and overlooking where the 2 roads conjoin, is a bizarre structure.
Worth
We
investigating.
should go check it out, guys. More death awaits us.
I don't think there's anything on this map that's actually good, but we're really screwed for options at the moment. Can we, Ekon, do you have any divination shit that can tell us which of these 2 roads is better to take?
Only for an hour. Also, I would need to actually eat and sleep to be able to do that.
We also have to get there. We're not at the roads yet, right?
Like, yeah.
No, you will be, if you keep the same pace that you kept today, probably 2 days from now. You guys traveled very slowly today.
We need to get Lugrin and Victor back hail again. Can we
We
Our
need
people do their survival things.
food in a cart.
Actually, is there anything that the rest of us can do to like increase the output of our like survivalists? Like, could we be making traps for them or something to snare more game? Because I feel like thieves' tools proficiency like gives you some understanding of how to make stuff like that.
No, that wouldn't be thieves' tools. You need to be skilled in survival to know how to hunt and trap animals.
How's the grass looking? Does it look tasty yet?
So Orson. Oh wait, I don't. Yeah, I only have a guidance. I don't have any. I don't have that hurt anyway. Yeah. So I guess Orson gets a guidance on his survival today.
Best I have is animal handling.
Okay, let's go ahead and do those survival checks for today. Lahir is making his disadvantage. Leotard passes. Is someone going to roll for Orson?
Sorry, it's a 12 on die. I'm trying to find his. I'm bringing up his.
You got a D4.
Yeah, I did. It's 12. What is his plus on that? It is plus. It's wisdom, right? So it'd be just plus 2. So that's a 14.
Plus the D4, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, 14 is a success. So go ahead and do D4 plus 1. People can be fed for today.
Hey, 5.
All right.
Got the full.
Leotard feeds 4, so you have 9 people.
Okay, so we can get Lahir going again, and we can get the speed penalty on Luger and Victor got taken care of.
Yeah.
Who else needs to eat?
Orson and Lead Guard. Obviously.
So Lugrin, Victor, Lahir, Leotard, Orson. That's
Do
5.
we want to feed Denny?
No.
No.
We should reserve.
I don't see
that
any need to
food.
prioritize that. He's
Okay.
not exhausted right now.
He does have 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh.
That's all I
Every-
want.
Everybody's gangster until Ekon stops seeing you as a person.
Yeah. If I fail another check, then we're gonna be right back where we.
Okay, so PCs
Started
who
first
have a level of exhaustion should eat.
So
So who all is that?
I would like Ekon to be able to reset all the spells and Genie.
I've still got some first level spells.
I've got all my spell slots.
We want
Yeah,
to.
me taking 1 level of exhaustion is not terrible right now. It's just I won't get some second level spells back. It's not the end of the world.
So
I
other
think I'd rather have-
NPCs with exhaustion are Tenny, Trieste, Donique, Chrisen, and one of your retainers.
Is that our 5? Do we just give them the 5 to make sure no one's slow tomorrow?
You've got 4.
Did we get all the PCs before that?
Genie and Edmont also have exhaustion, but I don't think either of them wanted it.
No, if I take another level of exhaustion though, which dice rolls being what they are, we'll be right back to square one. We'll still be slowed down.
That's also true of
Can
Tenny.
someone carry Tenny? She's just a little kid.
Yeah, we can't. We have to feed Tenny.
Okay, so you got 3
I didn't
more.
realize I had exhaustion. I forgot that, I guess.
Yeah, you haven't eaten in 3 days.
Oh. Okay. You made me roll like a DC 10 or whatever the lowest one was. That's why I was confused. It's fine. It's fine.
You got 3 more people. Denny is one of them with exhaustion.
Do we have to convince Tenny to eat today?
No,
She's
because
hungry.
she's hungry. She's exhausted.
I feel like Denny is going to start becoming a major burden if we don't get him up to speed.
He's already a major burden.
Can't we just knock him out and carry him until we get to a city?
There might not be a city on this map.
Yeah, there may not even be a city.
Everything on this map is bad.
I'm just saying, he's
Making a lot
unconscious.
of-
He doesn't need to eat.
You know, it's really, you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if we just picked the wrong direction. If if there's a town,
We've probably passed like 3 towns that are just off the edge of this black by now.
Possible. So yeah, you got 3 more meals to distribute. These are the people that get to take a long rest.
I'll leave it up to you. It's fine.
To me, I'm not making this decision.
No, I'm talking to them, not talking to you. That would involve giving you happiness.
Danny will just eat all 3.
No, we don't want to do that.
That suits him fine.
Let's prioritize just the people who are already exhausted, so that we don't have people starving or slowed.
So
Yeah,
who's exhausted that's not eating them?
Denny,
We could also just save the food, and then whoever fails their check.
Trieste, Donique, Chrisen, Lair, and no, Lair's eating, and one of your retainers.
I think whoever the retainer is just gonna have to wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go hungry.
I mean, Kristen's okay in a fight. I would say you should get a ration.
He doesn't have a spell focus. He's useless in a fight.
I thought he was casting spells.
No,
No, he doesn't have spell focus. He needs the
Oh, not
materials to
Kristen.
build
Sorry,
it.
I was thinking of Abernathy. My bad.
Abernathy?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think is Abernathy have exhaustion?
He doesn't at the moment.
Yeah, so he doesn't. He's fine.
Trieste also has similar spells though.
Okay, yeah, let's get Trieste then, because she's like I said, okay in a fight.
Okay, 2 more.
Is that
Any NPC that's exhausted is okay with me.
Yeah, just give them to 2 other exhausted NPCs
Whoever has the
that aren't
longest
Denny.
spawn.
And whoever's going to be most likely to fail their con save.
Okay, well, I need names. Somebody has to make the decision now.
Just pick 2 names. Somebody. I don't have the list in front of me.
Denny, Donique, Chrisen, and 1 retainer.
The Donique will get 1 because she's
Okay.
I guess retainer or Kristen?
It's got to be Denny because he's part of our damn house.
No, it doesn't. Ekon will actively try and prevent you from getting Denny fed right now. Denny tried to kill one of us. He can go a day without food.
Victor makes a comment that it should be Denny because he's an immediate member of our house, but that's as far as we go.
Don't
Ekon will
want
just
Denny to
rank then
die.
and give a meal to Kristen.
Okay.
Chrisen.
This debate has gone on long enough.
All right. And let me update my notes, then we'll make some checks. This is the part where I update my spreadsheet. All right, Jeannie, Edmont, and Platin, and all 3 retainers. It's going to be a Constitution saving throw DC 16.
seems like fake news.
that's a pass?
Platin passes.
That's a fail.
Oh.
Jeannie fails.
Yeah, Genie failed. It was going to be a pass, but then the dice kept rolling.
Evie and Jayla. It's going to be a DC 14, which Jayla fails.
Evie passed. She got a 17.
Okay. Ekon and Abernathy. It's going to be a 12, which Abernathy passed.
Ekon failed.
Ekon fails. And that's it. That's all the checks.
Half speed for Genie.
So yeah, another day of travel and you'll come to the fork in the road. So which hexes would you like to scout out?
And I guess as part of the rest, quote unquote, I did resummon my familiar,
Okay.
like we discussed. Did the familiar tell me anything? Could it tell me anything about how it got poofed?
Oh, it just knows that it died somehow.
Okay.
It was flying one moment, and the next it was dead.
Do I have to put that one on the counter?
Yeah, you probably should.
I feel like that's okay.
I feel
Right,
like
so
you
we're
was
down
trying
to-
to kill your familiar, mine's died more.
So
For what it's worth, we're down to 3 summonings of familiars.
Victor and Orson can go ahead and take the benefits of the long rest. Everybody else can take a short rest instead.
Yeah.
I already
Anybody
used up
hear
all
me?
my hit dice. I don't think I could do anything more.
Anybody need any magical healing?
I'm back at
I'm
full.
good.
Okay. I'll explore this hex with Lux.
Okay.
What's the command to ping the map again?
Tab.
And Victor is cleared of 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
All right. So you're this hex here.
Yep.
The northern road goes into this woodland area. To the point where the road disappears from your familiar's point of view. Here and there in the woods, though, you see, your familiar rather sees trails of smoke arising up from below the canopy.
Smoke or mist?
Smoke.
Okay.
Victor's familiar is going to stick out the south road.
The south road down here.
Yeah.
And it's a similar situation, but the trees are more sparse in this direction, and the terrain gets a lot more rugged. And there's 1 or 2 spots where the road actually breaks and like reconstitutes on the other side of, say, a dried up river, where you guys would have to climb down into the riverbed and climb up the other side.
So does it look like one of these roads is in better condition than the other?
The road in the direction where you sent the familiar was never in good condition. Like, at best, it's a dirt road, and here and there you see what might be faded, like, wagon wheel ruts. But Ekon's familiar wasn't able to see the road because it's running through the forest. And who else is scouting?
Got my familiar going up that direction.
Okay. And it's much the same as Ekon's report. And that the woodland becomes becomes more and more dense in that direction. But also in that direction, you're seeing it becomes a lot more wet. You think there's a lot more marshland and swamp underneath the trees.
So are we going to reach that fork today? Is that at the half pace? Because I think people are still slow enough that they're moving at half speed, right?
Yeah, once you're in this hex, you'll be at the fork, and then you'll have to make the decision which direction to go.
Okay.
We take the upper one because of the smoke.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, worst case scenario, it's like something.
It'll kill us quickly.
To be clear, it's like trails of smoke coming up from the forest, not the forest is on fire in that direction.
Right,
Yeah.
campfires is what I parse that as potential campfires is what I parse that information.
So we know there's something on the north road. The south road has, at one point, had wagon wheel traffic, which means it may have gone somewhere that may or may not exist.
I guess. Can my familiar tell me? Because I sent him down the road. Can the familiar tell me where it was before it got popped?
Somewhere over this forest that you guys are discussing whether or not to go in.
So did it like what I mean? What I mean is, so it went like because I told it to go down the road. Did
It would have
go
made it about as far as you guys will make it at the end of this day of travel. Because it had traveled in 1 full day, what's taking you guys almost 3 days to do.
Okay.
And Genie is the one slowing everybody down today, being at half speed.
It's yeah.
Right. Did I go down? Did I get it? Did I get food?
You haven't
One
yet.
day.
Would you like to?
Oh well, I mean, it's like I thought I was. I'm slowing people down too because I thought I had 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh, did you also fail?
Not. I passed this last one.
Okay. Well, you only have one level then,
Okay, then.
according to my notes.
I'm misinterpreting things.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as you pass that save, you're still okay.
Okay.
So we're going to head to the Fork the next day. The weather neither worsens nor clears. And what's weird is that while you guys are marching through this drizzle, keeping to this muddy road, they aren't black storm clouds overhead. It's just a grayish haze filling the sky. Let's get a survival check from Orson.
You can. Is this for him observing the weather or whatever?
No, this is for
not
hunting for the day.
Oh well, yeah. Go ahead and put a guidance on that.
All right, that is a 21.
21's a pass, and Layer passes as well.
That's a 2, so three servings.
And Lahir also got 3, so 6 people get to take a rest today.
Who has
Genie
2
is
layers?
Genie is the only one with 2 levels of exhaustion right now.
Yeah, well,
And obviously, Orson and the other hunters have to eat.
that's
So
4.
who has 1?
I have 1.
Edmont has one.
Who is most likely to fail?
With Victor's dice rolls.
It doesn't matter who's most likely to fail if you roll a 1.
So
You're talking about who's
is Genie eating today? We'll start there. 'Cause she has 2 levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Edmont, Ekon, and Victor all have 1. Denny, Lugrin, Jayla, and one of the retainers also has 1. And you have 2 more meals.
I mean, I'll take 1 so I can actually get my spells back.
So Ekon will eat. And 1 more.
Victor would like to, but I'm not sure there's anyone else who needs it more.
I think we need to be fair to the NPCs as well, otherwise they'll kill us in our sleep.
Yeah.
At least one of them will.
Jayla is the one who's kind of the one rabble rousing the most.
No, that'd be
We-
Denny.
No, that'd be
Well-
Denny.
Jayla
Well-
can fight though.
Yeah, let's get Jayla some food this time around.
Okay.
You sit there and like,
So Edmund, you have not eaten in 5 days, my friend.
I thought I
Oh.
got him one. I thought I had gotten one.
There were 6.
Oh yeah,
today.
yesterday.
No, I didn't eat yesterday.
Yeah, you didn't
Oh.
eat today either.
Okay,
okay, hold on.
I'm
Let's.
confused.
That's way too long to go without food.
I mean,
5 days.
He's been passing his Constitution saves. So Edmund's hungry, but it's not causing him to slow down at all.
I failed 1 Constitution save, so
Yeah, so you're still at the 1 level of exhaustion. You do not automatically get exhaustion if you skip a long rest.
I was just.
Do we want to feed Edmund instead of Jayla?
No.
Okay.
Although I think Edmont should be at the top
But
of the list
DC
tomorrow.
DC is now coming up to like I think 18, which
Yeah, it'll be 18 for you.
Give him
I
food.
will never roll that high ever in my life. Not allowed.
Give him food.
You're not allowed.
Not allowed. McDoll's have bad dice rolls. That's the rule of this table.
Have you seen my dice rolls?
Plaiden has also not eaten in 5 days.
And he's not complaining because he's an NPC.
I mean, Plaiden is his general demeanor. I mean, nobody in the party has a good demeanor or good outlook right now. But Plaiden seems to be in a state of like hypervigilance.
I mean, like that is actually something like
All right,
we would have told Plaiden like what happened in the castle.
Mhm.
Be like, yeah, there was ghost voices and undead seal. I think we're in a bad place.
Some really unseelie shit.
In which case, Plaiden's opinion is once once the party manages to get to a position where they can rest and recuperate, you should plan an expedition back out there to destroy whatever the evil thing is that's sealed in there.
Didn't the castle fall apart? Is it still there?
It fell apart. It was crumbled when we looked back, and
No,
there
when
was
you look
nothing
back, you
else.
saw
that-
ruins where there weren't any before.
And we never went back to go look because why would we?
Because we're starving.
Edmont's Platin and all 3 retainers are at a DC 18. Ooh, Platin finally fails one.
Edmont fails.
Evie is at
Yes.
a DC 16.
And I passed. I got a 17.
Okay.
So it's probably been like 4 days since Evie's eaten.
Yep, 4 days. Ekon is eating today. So roll for Abernathy. He fails.
I know. If I had known this was going to be a problem, I would have gotten the jar.
The mayonnaise jar.
Yeah. But I was like, surely we're not going to be like months on an so close to each other.
And
After
I'm 100% disgusted by the mere concept of a mayonnaise jar. Like it literally makes my stomach go, no, thank you.
Okay, but how would you feel after 6 days of not eating?
Victor, your DC is
Listen.
10.
What's my DC?
10 for the Constitution save. Lugren fails.
I think we did the
Dominique
math. There's like
fails.
42,000 calories in a gallon. Man.
Rolled a 1.
Roll a 1.
Which brings it up to a 2.
I mean, mayonnaise is eggs and oil.
So now I have to save this map.
I can also do honey, but I don't have that infusion because I was like, I'm gonna try to do different infusion. Alexander did. Nope. After this, we're always going to be having one of these fucking jars. Do you hear me? I will stockpile all the acid. We will have mayonnaise. You've broken me,
I feel like honey would be a better food source than mayonnaise.
Not calorically, because you get a gallon of mayonnaise. Like 1 day's worth of mayonnaise is like 42,000. It's an absurd amount of calories.
Yeah, I feel like if you were eating nothing but mayonnaise for days on end, you would you would have a heart attack, or you would just have diarrhea until you died.
Do I have to make a save, or does eating automatically let me rest without one?
No, if you're eating, you don't have to make any kind of save.
So I can go ahead and take a long rest mechanically?
Yep. So Jeannie, Ekon, and Orson can all take a long rest and remove 1 level of exhaustion from each of you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Coming up to the fork in the road. The northern road diverts around what looks to be a very shallow riverbed. And the river seems to have come flowing around this hill. And sitting atop the hill is a bizarre structure that you see here. So there's a path that continues around the hill that goes off into the woods, where your familiars had scouted previously. That's where you saw the smoke coming from. It shows smoke on this map, but there's not actually any here. It's just I didn't draw this map. I wish I could draw this well.
Did
Also-
Junji Ito draw this map?
Did who?
Did Junji Ito draw this map?
I get that reference.
I was just going to say, I don't think I know who drew this map, because there's no source on it. Somebody didn't put their little credit booger on it. A second path goes over the riverbed and starts going up and around the hill in a spiral pattern, giving the structure the outward look of like a nautilus shell.
Any signs of recent habitation?
Judging from the base of the hill, you don't see any movement. You don't, like I said, you don't actually see the smoke coming up from the outlying structures. And there doesn't seem to be anything moving up there. But you come across this position. Probably early in the afternoon.
This is before the fork?
The path in the road forks into two directions around the hill that this structure sits upon. So the north road is the one that you guys are taking into the woods. The south road goes the opposite direction down and around the hill.
This is in the middle of the fork.
Yeah,
More or
kind of
less.
in the middle of the fork.
Well, let's see if there's anybody here.
Yeah.
Magila's here.
Do we?
Good, then we can kill him.
Victor is just kind of muttering as he wanders around,
Oh my god.
investigating this thing.
Okay. So how are we going to go about investigating it?
By the way, Jeannie, did you re-infuse my knife?
No.
Okay.
So
Oh, I guess I did. Yeah, I'll reinfuse the knife.
Okay.
I forgot I didn't have a. I forgot I just had a long rest. I was just assuming I'd never get a long rest ever again.
Okay, so my knife is just back. It's not going to bite me if I throw it anymore.
Excellent question.
No, it shouldn't do. Just keep it out of the mist.
Okay.
Rick, which way are we approaching from?
I'd say you can approach the hill from either direction, either up here or down here, as you will.
Before we go any further, Edmont, you have your second level of exhaustion.
I do.
Okay, and I know monks get extra movement speed. What is your base movement speed? Is it 40 or 35?
It's 40 right now, but it would be 20 because of exhaustion.
Okay, take a long strider. So you're up to 30. So it's still not monk levels of bullshit, but you're about normal for the next hour.
All right.
And I will mark that off.
Okay. So yeah, how do you go about investigating the structure?
Where are we starting from? Down here?
You have a choice, either this path or this path.
Go from the top.
Sure. I mean, my opinion is call out in a strong voice. Hello, does anyone live here?
You call out, wait a few moments, and you don't get a response.
Victor calls out Magila.
Stop! What are you doing?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You don't want anyone to think that we are allied with that thing. I'm going to send my
We also
familiar...
know the only thing that we've seen here that lives are things that worship Magila, so maybe if they
You don't know that
truly-
he can't hear you say that. Like, it could be one of those things where you say it and it, like, draws his attention.
Victor, what if we found the home of one of Magila's enemies who should be our mutual ally and they decide to kill us because you said that?
So far, the only people we've seen are those supporting Magila.
I'm going to send my familiar out and cast my vision through its eyes to do a close flyover of the structure.
Okay.
Is there like a door invisible? Like,
There are several, what look like huts. 2 down here at the base of the hill, and then 3 more that seem to be embedded into the stony part of the hill, the part that resembles a nautilus shell. There is a path leading directly into the stone structure at the base of the hill here. Okay. But you'd have to actually send the familiar down inside of it to learn more. Other than that, the path just kind of winds up around the top of it, as you see here.
Can we get a Orson token?
Yeah, here, I gave you one here.
Or do we want Orson to hunt today?
I think it's actually better for Orson to hunt today instead of being here to help us.
Okay. And he will go off and hunt.
Yeah.
What do you do when Denny asks that you cut his bonds?
Tell him to be quiet.
I laugh at him. I laugh at him. That's what I do.
I mean, he's at 1 hit point, isn't he?
I'll tell him Platin's in charge of the camp. He can make that decision.
Okay.
I'll just laugh at him.
Denny, a good leader knows when to rest. You're sick. You need to rest.
So
Does anybody have any?
Worse?
So we're climbing up the hill?
Does anybody have any complaints with me opening this first hut?
Well, probably want to be positioned
mind if
before we do that.
Do you mind if I send my familiar over to fly into that entrance before we start going in ourselves?
How are you actually going to open that?
Yeah, when you get to the hut, it's just kind of a ramshackle wooden thatch roof hut. Only the half of it that's visible, because the rest of it protrudes into the stony hill itself. And it has a similarly poorly maintained, lashed together door, keeping it closed.
Oh, is this like poorly maintained in that it's been
Just-
sitting here a while? Or...
The build quality's not great, and it's been sitting in the rain for who knows how long.
Okay. All right. And again, I'm asking before I do this because I have been told that is what I need to work on.
Kick the door in.
This is
Are
Were you
we
gonna s-
are we
Edmund?
comfortable with our configuration for if a bad thing comes out and tries to kill us?
I have a question. How far is this off the ground? Is it even off the ground?
Yes, as you and Evie are coming up and around, you're starting to come up the hill. If you go around the south side here, all the way around the south, from this position, it starts climbing even more and more steeply as it goes up.
Right. Okay. All right. Were you gonna say something, Edmont?
no,
Okay,
no. I'm good.
what's next?
Oh. Okay. I guess I'll. I'll summon my turret.
As you do.
I'm gonna keep it on my shoulder.
Pulse it before we go in.
Yeah, I am going to pulse it before I go in.
We'll gather up before you pulse it.
Yeah. That's good enough. That's 10 temp hit points.
I'll take it.
And we'll say if Brick Road does not mind, we'll say that everybody was together.
Yeah, it's fine.
We did that. So everybody's got 10 temp hit points.
Okay, I'm comfortable. Open the door. We'll live with it.
Maybe
Yep.
knock at the door and then open it?
Yeah, I was gonna knock first. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm knocking.
And you rap on the door slightly, and it's just soft wood, bloated with rain.
Yeah.
Like the structure of this door is such that even with your extremely low strength, you might be able to just peel the boards apart, like
This
you
is
could
very-
badly rotted plywood.
Evie has tool proficiency in woodworking, so she is disgusted by this build quality, and she is going to open the door.
Make an intelligence check with that, using that tool proficiency.
Oh, okay.
Woodworking.
And intelligence, so that is +7. That's 9.
You don't
Would've
think
been-
these structures were designed to be permanent, which tells you that this is not a settlement or a village of any kind.
Yeah, and I'll relay that. But I am opening the door now.
And you are greeted first by the putrid scent of rotting food, and second by flies buzzing around a half-butchered animal carcass that's hanging against the back wall of the little lean-to, which is comprised of the circular stone of the hill, and there's flies buzzing around it in a big cloud. In the center of the room, you do see, in the dirt floor, a circle of stones, which might have been a cook fire at one point. But I mean, the smell hits you like a fist rolling out of the door.
Genie turns around and goes,
What's in the box?
dead. It's just a dead animal.
Rotting
Half-
Animal? You mean as in food?
Does any of you can any of us tell if this is edible?
Yeah,
It's
I
beyond
don't think I want to
putrefied.
eat that.
Purified food, right?
Yeah, do I think if I cast Purify Food and Drink on this, what was left of it would be edible?
That's what the spell does, isn't it?
Yeah, let's not do it just yet, because I can hit everything in a 10-foot diameter sphere, but... If there's
Good
more
job,
we
Genie.
need...
You found food.
Then that if we find more food, then we just
Yeah,
we
we can-
accumulate it all into this place.
Yeah, we
since it
pile them all
appears to be
together.
Abandoned.
And I can ask Air to purify them.
Yeah, good plan. Good
Oh
plan.
my god.
Let's, why don't we go up before we go down?
Well, there's another hut over here.
But that also goes down. Let's go up so we get a better view first. And then
Did you send your familiar in?
No, I brought it back to sit on Victor's shoulder because we were doing stuff. Lux hangs out on Victor's shoulder a lot.
let's go up so we can get a better view, and then we can go see what's gonna kill us.
Oh my god.
Everything here wants to eat us.
I'm going to close the door before we leave.
Okay, good idea. You wouldn't want to let the hut air out or anything.
Well, wouldn't want to like. I don't know. Maybe like drawing in animals.
So from this position, this path here would actually be the road continuing off into the east in the direction of the forest. And then the path splits before you, staying tighter with the hill. You'll be circling up the hill higher and higher, and it becomes a little more steep as it does so. Going down this direction, you'll be going down to the base of the hill.
We don't hear
Victor, what's your
anything.
passive perception?